I'm going to talk about 3 players a day since we've got 9 players. I'm going to start with Trayshawn Holden, the wide receiver from Oregon first. I'm going to go 3 guys today, 3 guys tomorrow, and 3 guys the next day. We're going to knock all these UDFAs out. Holden is a 4-star recruit. Initially, he was at Alabama, and he was Alabama for 3 years, and then he transferred to Oregon. And so he wasn't very good at Alabama. He had some struggles with low number of catches, a lot of drops. But what this guy does at 6'2" and 211, he gives your quarterback a large target. And he's really, really good when it comes to running those dig routes, inside routes, the crossing routes. I don't think he has really, really natural hands, guys. I think he does fight the ball a little bit here. I think you'll see some double catching with him. And he's not a body catcher, but there's times where it just doesn't catch the ball particularly clean. And I think this is why people kind of went after him a little bit. So, like I said, got to be careful of him. Big guy, fighting the ball, double catching it. His size does allow him to run through some jams and presses more than just beating him with quickness or elusive moves. His releases, his route entrance, it just doesn't have much speed or suddenness to him as a player. And that's going to be a problem for him. But when he does have ball in hands, he is able to get all he can. He's got the ability to kind of weave through defenders until they can bring him down. But he can work along the sidelines, back of the end zone. Those things are good for him to do. Contested plays, again, the hands are a little bit questionable. The length and the height help here. I just think it's going to be a hard time for him to separate from corners. I don't think he has, like I say, that quickness or that speed, and that's probably what hurt him of not being drafted by anybody in the league. Speed, yeah.
How bad is it?
It's noticeable. It's noticeable. So, but when I watched him play, I was like,
he's just playing in quicksand.
Yeah, he's not getting through things very quick. But the size is pretty impressive. It's 6'2".
Great hands?
Not great.
Oh.
Not great.
Body catcher?
Not a body catcher, but he kind of double catches some balls too. That's what we're talking about here. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, Rivalando Fairweather.
Oh, the tight end.
From Auburn. He's 6'3". He's 300. He's 242 pounds. This kid transferred from Florida International University, FIU. And he moves well for his size. He's got really a long build, and he does have good hands. He's able to adjust to various passes that thrown his direction. Auburn's quarterbacks were awful. And he was able to kind of go low for a ball, go high for a ball, out in front of him, behind him. So the hand-eye coordination is really good there. This guy's got more straight-line speed than overall quickness. I do think he does a really good job of tracking the ball. He plays with body control down the field. He's able to work along the sidelines if necessary. There's a couple of times where routes, where things broke down and he got to the sidelines and he had to make that tap catch. But in college, you only need the 1 foot, but he's still tapped. He doesn't have a lot of routes at that tight end spot. He just did not execute a lot of routes. He'll work through the middle of the field mainly. He will play in line. When I mean in line, he'll play next to the tackle, but most of his stuff is flexed or as a wing, and he's more of a get-in-the-way blocker as opposed to one who's going to stick his nose in the action. He's not that great when asked to block as that wing, or when he has to play on the move. When he has to trap or get somebody out of there, this is not his cup of tea, as they would say. He just doesn't have pop. He doesn't have surge. He really he just can't move defenders like you would. But his ability to catch the ball and run after catch are his best traits for the position. I felt like he had some of that John Stevens. Remember the kid that got hurt the last couple of years?
Yeah.
The athletic tight end that you kind of see.
He's turned heads.
Making plays, but every year it seems like he gets hurt in camp.
Yeah.
He's got some John Stevens to his game by the way he's built and by the way he moves. So I could see why the Cowboys like this particular player. Fairweather from Auburn. All right, the last.
Did it check out like he could help you in the run game with his blocking?
No, he's not that.
That's what I heard about him.
Not that guy.
That's why I trust Brian.
Not that guy. All right, Elijah Clark, in my last report for the day, he's the safety from Syracuse at 6'1", 188. He plays as a true free safety. This kid transferred from Rutgers. He does have versatile experience across the secondary. He's played a lot of different spots. He can really high point the ball when he needs to go get it. He reads well from depth. When he sees routes developing, he can come forward and make plays. He's really physical in coverage. He flies downhill in the running game, kind of can square up runners in the hole. His strike, he's got some violence at 6'1", 181. He kind of looks a little bit like a corner playing more than he does a safety.
Like a vegetarian corner.
Yeah, but he's thin. Might struggle a little bit having to deal with some, if you put him in the slot and ask him to cover those guys. He's a 4-5 guy running, but he does have some quickness to him and able to kind of adjust. His footwork's going to have to be a little bit better. Flexibility in space is going to have to be a little bit better. But as far as coming downhill and making plays, there's a sense of urgency. So when he plays, I was kind of impressed with that. I could say the versatile skill set to play the up, to play back. He might be kind of a guy you use in some nickel coverage. But man, I'll tell you what, at 6'1", 188, I was impressed with how physical he was and his willingness when the ball went down the field, how he was able to play with some range and able to knock passes away. So I believe this was the highest paid college free agent the Cowboys signed. I think this kid was given a guarantee of $257,000.
Not bad.
As a guy. So that tells me that he was on the Cowboys draft board. A lot of these guys I bet were on Dallas's draft board. Those are the first guys they go after. Talk to you about some undrafted free agents for your Dallas Cowboys. Joshua Kelly, wide receiver from Texas Tech. Going to get into him a little bit here.
Bringing the Raider Rash to Frisco.
Bringing the Raider Rash. This guy right here he was a 3-star recruit and out of California, and he started his career at Fresno State.
Knows how to party.
Yeah. And so it's funny, he went from Fresno to Washington State and then to Texas Tech. So his best numbers that he's had for his career have been at Texas Tech. They did a nice job of using this guy. He's a big-time slot player. He's not the most explosive or detailed route runner when you watch him play, but he does have some quickness, just some initial quickness out of his breaks. And so when you watch him at the top of his route, he's able to kind of get out of it quick and get a little separation. I think his footwork and all was really, really good. At 6'1", 186, he's kind of a thin guy, but his hands, super, super competent. Yesterday we were talking about Holden, our Oregon receiver, and I felt like that he was kind of some double catching of the ball. This guy, Joshua Kelly, he can catch the football. This guy's got really confident hands, and he's really good when working with people around him, the contested catches. So he's got the hands, he's got the short area quickness. There is some suddenness to his game that way. I think the contact balance is something these coaches look for in their receivers. This guy's got it, but he can run routes when it comes to like curls, the hitches, the comebacks. You see a lot of different routes for this guy, and he makes plays in all of them. I like the way the tempo, the pace, everything he does is really good when it comes to selling the route and getting in and out of his breaks, and there's some smoothness to him the way he's there. So the hands, those are top shelf, like I said, and he really, really attacks the ball, and he's a willing blocker. He's just not an explosive receiver when it comes to speed. So it's kind of a mixed bag with him, but man, this guy makes a lot of plays with his hands. So
you got a little bit of a twinkle in your eye when you talk about this guy.
Joshua Kelly, I like Joshua Kelly a little bit. He wasn't one of these guys that I initially was one of the 235. He wasn't, and I feel bad for missing him. He didn't get selected, but you very well could put this guy in the 5th round, maybe the late 5th, 6th round type of player. There's plenty of receivers that he's better than that were on the board. This kid probably should have been drafted the way he catches the football.
Good, we need him.
All right. Justin Barron is a linebacker from Syracuse. Now, the thing about Justin Barron that's interesting is he's 6'4", he's 225. So he's played receiver, he's played defensive back, and they've moved him to linebacker. But at 6'4", 225, he was playing kind of like the big nickel, with Dan Quinn. Remember what we did with Bell and those kinds of guys? But this guy, he could play. He plays the linebacker spot. He's really a sideline to sideline player. He's got really good length. The fluidity is good. He could slip past blockers more than take them on. He is a size, a little bit of undersized, but the speed is really, really good, and he's super competitive, and he's super tough. He's got the right kind of mindset to play linebacker. He's got pursuit angles are really good. There's acceleration for the position as, playing at that linebacker spot. I think he's a much better zone cover player than he is, say, a man player, but you do see him work against some tight ends when they go up the seam, and he's able to stay with them. He's this hybrid linebacker, and he's played a ton of special teams.
I was about to say, this sounds like in all three phases.
Yeah, this is a backup linebacker that's got position understanding of playing it in the secondary, playing at linebacker, but his special teams work is what's going to get him on this field. So the awareness, I think, is good. The with the lineup at the different spots, I think that's as good too. But his lack of bulk and size really just isn't ideal. But he's probably going to he'll make the team because of special teams and his ability to show the toughness that way. Okay, Zion Childress is my last guy. Zion Childress, excuse me.
Oh, somebody just texted about him.
Yeah, he's a safety from Kentucky is where he at. And he was a 3-star recruit. He started his career, I'm sure they're asking about because he started his career at Texas State. And he was kind of a nickel for down there for Texas State. And then he just said, well, I need to try and go to get myself a little bit higher up the food chain here. And he chose Kentucky as his team. But he was a 2-time captain, which it makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys. They're looking for those guys. He's played 25 straight games at a safety. And at 6 foot 195, he's really quick to read. He drives really well on the ball. He makes these plays where you're thinking like, oh, he's not going to get there. And then all of a sudden, bam, he's right on top of it. Because overall, man, he plays really fast. He's physical. He's decisive. He has occasionally, there's some missed tackles that you'll see with him. He doesn't have a lot of ball production, but man, he is one of those guys that triggers quick. He's a solidly built player. He's got the good speed. He's got agility. He's got lateral quickness. He can cover a lot of ground. The missed tackle part of it, though, is something he's probably going to have to overcome. So, you'll see him try and punch the ball out. He's one of those guys. He's always trying to create a turnover. I just don't think he has the great speed, and I'm not sure how much you really want to put him in coverage, but the quickness, the downhill, the toughness, all those things that you'll like about the game. I love the way he sees the game, but he'll need to work on some of the coverage aspect parts of it, though, if he gets matched up that way.